the Pri Megadim writes something surprising. He writes that the Yevonim were mekane b'bnei Yisrael. They envied the Jews, and that is why they put into effect all these terrible gzeiros. And usually achronim don't make such statements on their own. It should be a chazal somewhere. How does the Pri Megadim know that they were mekane b'bnei Yisrael? So if anybody finds a source in Medrash somewhere, I would be happy to know. But I think, what did they have to envy the Bnei Yisrael? Greek was the greatest empire of the time. They were powerful, they were huge, they were rich, and what did we have to offer? Why would they envy Kollel Yisrael? So it is very confusing. Who were the Greeks? According to Chazal, they were as brutal as any other of Soni Yisrael. And this terrible story in Masechet Gittin that is told about the Romans, a Jewish woman who had all her 7 children slaughtered before her eyes because they refused to bow down to Avodah Zorah. In Medrash, it is told about the Greeks. On the other hand, the Greeks brought light to the world. They were the most enlightened people, and most of the fundamentals of Western culture comes from the Greeks. The great early philosophers were the Greeks, and they gave the world literature and poetry and sports and competition and so many of the fundamentals of the modern world. At the very beginning of Chumash Bereshis, v'choshech al pnei hatahoim, the Medrash says, Zu Yavon shechshicho einayim shel Yisrael. What the entire world saw as light, we saw as darkness. And we identified the great danger that Chochmas Yavon poses to our Emunah and to our Messiah and to our Torah. But if they had anything to envy Bnei Yisrael, it's because they were an enlightened people. And they saw the small, insignificantly numbered people who cherish Chachma. I don't know where this expression comes from. I don't think it comes from Jewish sources, that Am Yisrael, we are the people of the book. And a nation that is not powerful, not big, doesn't have big armies, not wealthy, but cherishing Chachma and engaged in Chachma. And every Jewish child learning Torah. And that is probably what brought their envy and their kina of Bnei Yisrael. So the Yevonim were mechalal all the Klei HaMikdash. And there was a separate lishko, sham, ganzo, avnei mizbeach, sheshikzu ha-Yevonim. And if they were mechalal the mizbeach and the shulchan, but the nes was dafkin the menorah, and not even in the menorah, but rather in shemen zayis sheba menorah. What is the remes? Why is that? So I said so many times, and usually that's my Sheva Brachos Torah, that the 3 Klei HaMikdash are Keneged Torah, Avodah, Gemeles Chasodim, and why the Mizbeach indicates Avodah, and the Shulchan is all about Achnus Esorchim and Gemeles Chasodim. Menorah is about Torah. But the nes wasn't in the menorah, but rather in the shemen. Yalkut Shimoni, Tov Tov Kuf Memhei, the Yalkut Shimoni says that Torah nimshel l'shemen zayis. Ma shemen zayis, matzila panim umesamachat leiv, af Torah matzila panim umesamachat leiv. And a few times in Shas we find when Goyim saw Chachmi Yisrael Meleim B'Simcha, and they asked, are you a malve beribis or a mesachik v'kuvia? Torah Ramadati, in a new Chiddush of Torah, with being so much simcha. And that is why the nes was Shemen Zayis, Sheba Menorah Samor. And the Gemara Sav Brocha says, Haroy Shemen Zayis B'chaloim, Yitzapa L'chachma. So Shemen Zayis is the remez of Simchas HaTorah, of Chochmas HaTorah, and that is what brought about the wrath of the Yevonim and their Kina and their Gzeres, and that is why the Nes was not in the Mizbeach, not in the Shulchan, not even in the Menorah, but Shemen Zayis Shebe-Menorah Samora, which brings Chachma and Simcha. So I think in this Kollel we have a lot of Shemen Zayis and a lot of Simchas HaTorah and Ritche Dioraisa. Jordan, you made a great choice. You made a great choice. You're a very smart man of supporting this wonderful Kollel. And each and every one of the lights sitting here is a Kollel b'Torah. And some of our Talmidim already have their own Kollelim and their own Kehilas, and the Kollel is Baruch Hashem producing Rabbanim. And I have a son-in-law in the Kollel as well, so I have personal interest. But they are all like my children, Baruch Hashem. It's a big schus. And Kadosh Baruch Hu Yazleinu L'man Kvod Shemoi. We should always be able to nana Simchas HaTorah, Mechedves Edeshmaitze, and Baruch Hashem, Shenasket Tamid L'Hagdol Torah or L'Adira. So many times, this is one of my favorite Chanukah Vertlach. So the Pinchas Makoras was a Talmud of the Baal Shem Tov. And as we all know, Mahadran, Mina Mahadran, from day 1 to day 8, like Lamed Vav Neiros. So the Pinchas Makoras, the Talmud of the Baal Shem Tov, says, Lamed Vav Keneged Ma. And whenever I speak, Baker to Yeshiva Bochum, I say, what would you expect of a Talmud of the Baal Shem Tov? Lamed Vav Neiros Keneged, and everybody says, Lamed Vav Tzadikim. That's what you expect of a Talmud of the Baal Shem Tov. But it's not what he says. He says, Lamed Vav Neiros are Keneged, Lamed Vav Mesechtes Shel Shas Bavli. Why Lamed Vav Mesechtes? Mishnayos says more than Lamed Vav Mesechtes. But if it's about Simchas HaTorah and Chachmas HaTorah, that is what Shas is about. Shas is the commentary. You learn Mishnayos, little kids start learning Mishnayos, but to appreciate the wisdom of Chazal, Oymig Divreihem, and the beauty of Halacha and Chazal, it is only in Shas, it's only in the Gemara. So the Lamed Vav Neiros are Keneged, Lamed Vav Mesechtes. So yesterday night we lit Brochas. Tonight Shabbos Ereven. Tomorrow Psachim, Shkolim, Rosh Hashanah, and that's why we go forth.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Yerushalmi. Yerushalmi. Yeah. You see, they're bright.
Rob likes Yerushalmi also.
But the Yerushalmi is not Lamed Vav, and if you add Yerushalmi and Bavli, you have too much. But Shkolim is printed, but it's printed in the Gemara, so it's printed in the Bavli. What?
You have second Menorah.
So, Baruch Hashem. And as we approach the end, we're going to light Tzvochim and Menochas and Chulen and Pchoides and Eirach and Baruch Hashem. העיקר שהנרס של המנור יעירו את לבבינו, את הנשומס שלנו, ושנזכה בקרוב לראות כהן גודל מייטב ומדלק הנרס במנור.